Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how to support your audience during hard times. My name's Krista Kathleen. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and hypnotherapist, and I help women start and grow online life coaching businesses so that way they can create a life full of freedom and flexibility and make an income while making an impact. Okay, so our country is going through some really hard times right now. The George Floyd situation just happened recently. This is something that has building for a while. There's a lot of tension, and I know a lot of you want to be able to say something. You want to be able to use your platforms to speak about this topic, but you might not know how to talk about it. You might be worried that you're going to offend people or say the wrong thing or rock the boat. And also you see a lot of other people saying and doing things out there. So you might be saying, well, why do I need to say something? My voice message is just going to get lost in the noise. And I totally get all these things and I can relate. I'm going to be honest, I'm not the greatest about in my videos, in my content, speaking to current events. And I've decided that I need to change that starting with this situation, because one of the worst things we can do right now is to just be silent, right? Silence shows that we're avoiding a hard conversation, and it doesn't make people feel very good. It doesn't show people that we care. So today, I want to have a conversation around this, and I want to give you all some tools on how you can really show up and support your audience during this hard time, even when you really don't know what to say. So the first point is, again, you want to let your audience know that you care about them. And that can be as simple as just reaching out to people individually or writing a post or in your content and saying, what can I do to help? How can I support? How can I show up for you all at this time? It's simple, but it's really, really powerful. And you can do this in all kinds of different difficult situations. For example, with my mom, she lost her first baby, my oldest brother, to cystic fibrosis at 14 months back in 1985. And after she went through that experience, nobody reached out to her. It's a really uncomfortable conversation when someone loses a child. And she said that was the most hurtful thing. It wasn't people saying the wrong thing, it was people not showing up and saying anything. And so that's the same thing in this type of situation. So if you know that there's people hurting out there, just show up and say, what can I do to support you at this time? I'm here for you. It's simple, but really, really powerful. And also trust yourself. You're going to show up in the best way possible. If you do make a mistake, if you do say something wrong or offend someone will probably point it out and correct you. And then you can say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for pointing that out to me. I know our egos can take over in this situation and say, oh, I don't want to mess up, so I'm just not going to show up at all. But that's not the thing to do in this situation. The second point is to make sure to show up as you are. Do not show up as a diversity inclusion specialist in this case. Unless you are one, you can, but don't try to be anything that you're not. I see a lot of coaches and leaders out there right now trying to police conversations and trying to create rules and saying, you need to do this, or you can't do this or this. And that really doesn't feel good for people. And people are going to see right through that. So again, just stay humble, show up as yourself. Don't shut down the conversation right now either. That doesn't feel good for people. People have been being shut down their entire lives, right? And so this is an opportunity as a coach to hold space for this difficult conversation. This is what you're good at. This is what you are skilled at in your profession. And I have an example of a time where I was shut down and where I really needed to have support. And with my first coach, she had a Facebook group, And at that time, I was really upset by something that Danielle Laporte did or said, and she's a famous author. And so I created a post in that group saying, hey, I don't like that Danielle Laporte did this and this and this. And really, what was going on was I was jealous. I wanted to show up like her. And my coach reached out to me and she said, hey, we're not going to have this conversation in the group. This is not an appropriate topic. You need to take that post down. And it felt awful. It felt so awful. And what I wanted her to do was to say, hey, it seems like you're hurting right now. What's really going on? Where did that post really come from? And it would have been so nice for her to take the time to, to dig a little bit deeper and to hold space for me in that way. And so that's what your audience needs from you right now too, is to not shut down the conversation. And a lot of times we do this is because we're scared, is because we feel like the conversation might get out of control. But you can worry about that when that happens. People are going to so appreciate you trusting them and trusting yourself, and just letting what needs to happen at this time so people's voices can be heard. Also, the next point is remember that you are creating powerful platforms online to create change, to say the thing that needs to be said in this world. So, right, whether you have a Facebook group or an email list or a YouTube channel or use Instagram, you are creating this platform because you want to change people's lives. You want to create real transformation. And the way you do that is by speaking up about these hard topics. And some different ways that you can really, create change and to support your audience during this time is you can interview someone, you can interview a specialist. Maybe you do know someone who's a diversity inclusive specialist, or, you just have a friend who can really, speak about this topic that's going on. Also, another thing you can do is you can host a workshop or you can host an event and you can make a donation to one of the organizations that is going to help in this time. Some of those organizations are Black Lives Matter, NAACP, colorofchange.org. I'll include those links below in the comments, but that's a nice thing to do, is to donate and support where you can. Also, I saw another coach, she gave away one of her courses. She had a course called Spiritual Celebrity, and it was to help empower women to be better at PR and to get their content published. And she was giving it away to, women of color and for free, and to help to empower them in that way. So again, there's all kinds of unique things that you can do in your business. You can get as creative as you want, but just do something at this time to show, again, that you care and that you're listening. And also the last point is to educate yourself. Knowledge is power. So again, I'll include some resources below of some ways that we can really educate ourselves. And really, that's what helps to stop judgment, to stop violence and confrontation in that way, is when we feel like we can have some empathy and we can understand the situation a little bit better. That is what can really help in this time. I know that's what helps me. It's what helps me show up from a place of love, is when I have a little bit more of an understanding and I take the time to educate myself. So that's also really important for you to do as well. Okay, so let's recap what we went over today. Let your audience know that you care, and you can do that from just asking a simple question of, what can I do to help and support at this time? Don't act like someone that you're not. Just show up from this place of humbleness, and don't try to be a conversation police right now. Don't try to shut down conversations that need to be held, and use your platform to create change in this world, and make sure to educate yourself as much as possible. Okay, that's all I have for you all today. I hope that you found that useful and helpful. Make sure that you click the thumbs up to like this video and to subscribe to keep getting these videos every week. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.